Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and this is the Unreal world, and we are back with our Spirit Quest Resurrected. This is Athena, and we are standing here looking at some empty traps, unfortunately. I have come to the location of where we recently set some beaver traps here, and nothing, still nothing. So I'm actually thinking about taking some of these down. I haven't seen beavers in any other locations, but what I have seen are just a whole bunch of birds and even a couple of rabbits back at base camp. So, I'm going to leave these up right here, these bigger ones, just because I don't want to I don't want to come back here and lug the rocks around trying to move them. So we'll do that another time if I do see some beavers or any kind of maybe some wolves or something nearby. But the important thing is each one of these takes 10 stones here for the big deadfall trap. So that's took me some time to get those. I'd like to go ahead and make sure I don't waste them. But anyway, we can leave them here set up. Maybe we'll get lucky and catch something big. But I don't know if you just caught it. We've got some big news. Some big events have happened apparently. I just logged in. I went and took care of that pig kill that we had, and then I checked the map, and I happened to notice this big purple circle right here, literally just to the south of our base, and like smack dab in the middle of our hunting grounds. All this nice dark green area. This is where we do all our hunting and stuff. And you know what this is? This is the Nurpgazit, however you say it, the purple nurples. Oh, that's the hostile culture. So for whatever reason, they like to spread out, and they'll establish little satellite colonies and settlements throughout the map, which is not good for us, obviously. So we have to deal with this. I mean, I had actually, I think just very recently talked about maybe taking on a settlement of the purple tribe, but I was half joking, honestly. Now it's an inevitability. We have to do it. But I don't know if I want to get in on this thing right away. It wouldn't be that bad, but it would be easier in the winter just because I could travel to the villages and stuff and do hiring. But honestly, I think this civilization over here, if we head over here with a bunch of meat, I could probably hire 20 or so people and have them help out taking down the purple tribe. So that's definitely something we're going to do. I just don't know when. There's another issue I have been considering, and that is the hunting bow that we've got. Now, granted, this hunting bow has been responsible for every kill, well, not every kill, but most of the kills we've gotten. And it's worked out pretty well, but I want an upgrade. I am not satisfied with just a normal hunting bow. I want to head up north to the owl tribe, Athena's home culture, the white culture right here, which we've actually been through their territory a little bit, but we're back, south of this. But I want to come up here because they have the northern bow, which I'm pretty sure is the best bow in the game. Maybe since we're able to mod stuff, there is a better bow, but maybe not too. All I know is that in vanilla, the northern bow is considered pretty darn good. And if we get lucky, we might find like a superior northern bow or perfect. I'm not sure what the best modifier is for that. But the question is, do we do that first? Do I go and search the Owl Tribe lands for an upgrade to the bow? Or should we kill the tribe just to the south of us? That's a tough question, honestly. Regardless, if we want to travel to the north, one thing I have to do is wait for all this meat here to finish smoking. And you can see, yeah, there's the latest kill was 15 days. Well, we have 15 more days to go before it's finished, and that was the wild boar that I just completed with you guys most recently. So, in other words, I can still attack the village with this stuff. Possibly. I don't know. I tell you what, having this purple tribe show up has really changed everything. You know what actually the very first step is? To come down here and actually locate the village that's causing this. So we need to scout this area out first. That's probably what we should do right away. Oh my God. Well, we're not ready to leave yet, and I'll tell you why. Like I said, there's been a bunch of activity here at the base. We're right next to our boat. Our boat's just right there behind this rock. There it is. And I went in and set a bunch of traps just real close together. No big deal. You can see I was coming over here to set one right now. Literally, bird plopped right in my lap. Not putting any bait in these traps, and they are hitting like crazy. You'll see over here. I've already finished the pig kill. This right here is a bird skin. It's the duck skin, tufted duck skin. That was another one that set off the trap. And it happened again literally while I was standing there preparing the pig skin. At one point, I watched it fly into the trap. Now, I did also see another one actually hit the trap and then get out of it and was able to escape. And it left the trap, triggered, but no animal inside of it. I've never seen that happen. But anyway, it's time to take out another bird. So you know what that means. We get to whip out our brand new Skramashaki. I have no idea how to pronounce it. But someone did point out in the comment section that it is a legitimate, like, historical weapon. And so I appreciate that. You looking that up. That's pretty cool, the info. It's good to have. There we go. All right, now I'm going to keep resetting these traps. Why not? I know I've gone back and forth on the birds, just because it is kind of a hassle to have to constantly mess with the bird carcasses. But to be honest, it's good. It gives me food to sacrifice. See, there's that tufted duck cut. Oh, shoot. I think I had already. Yeah, I think I just recently sacrificed that, but no big deal. Anyway, so we're going to butcher up this bird. I don't like the sacrificing too much because it says you feel unsteady, and that's bad. I don't think that's a good thing. You want it to say that you feel at ease, but regardless, it hasn't had too much effect, at least up to now, on our questing and stuff. So, that's another thing too. Reminds me, we've actually got an order for, what was it, a knife? Village Oats Wild 14 days for a small knife placed 14 days ago. And as I remember, this only was going to take like 6 days. So we might be able to sneak up there and grab that knife. And maybe it's a good idea to get like a round shield for her, just in case she has to go into melee at some point. Because like I said, if we're going to be taking on that village, we want the most armor we can get, basically. Oh my God, check this out, guys. So I've been actually hanging around the camp, trying to pass a lot of time. I do want to get all that meat taken care of. I think that's smart, but it's going to take a lot of time. Nonetheless, I keep getting woken up and disturbed by different animals. Look, we got some sort of weasel or something out here. Let's look at this thing. I don't even know what this is. Oh, hold on. Okay, somebody told me, yeah, another commenter on an older series just recently pointed out that I always use the directional keys to like manually move my look cursor. This is to look here, but we can just use the plus minus button to cycle through, I guess, all entities on the map. So that's cool. Thank you for that tip, Ermine. Nice. That's actually really helpful. I'm going to try and use that more often. There might still be cases where a manual look is good, but I'm not too worried about shooting off my arrows and losing those here in the woods at this point. What I'm hoping is maybe this guy will trip one of our traps. Now, I don't think he's quite big enough to actually trip one of these deadfalls, but nonetheless, we've still got them. They're here, so I'm prepared for any big prey. Well, semi-prepared. I still need to set a few more and like build a trap fence too. That would be ideal. But regardless, let's head back over here. She still needs to sleep. It's midnight and she's not even fully like rested. That stupid Ermine woke her up like 3 times in a row. I couldn't get any sleep. The dogs were just going nuts. So we've got to remember to get our fire lit. I'm not going to let any of this meat go bad. In fact, let's check. Is there any ready? Nope, not quite yet. Says the smoked forest reindeer cut will be ready in a few hours. So we actually do have some coming through today. But then, of course, if I want to wait, I guess I could just wait 9 days. But here's the deal. Like I've said, we've got to come back here and continually get this fire lit. Otherwise, some of that meat can go bad. If I just leave it sit here for days and days, I'll come back and some will be spoiled. Oh boy, well, check it out. There he is. Do you see him? The little Ermine. He got trapped. We got him. Yeah, I tell you what, sticking around the campsite I think was a smart idea because I've had a revelation. I know what order we're going to do things in. We're going to attack the village first. Obviously, we still need to go down there and explore that area, and then we'll head over to the neighboring civilization and hire like 15 guys and just take them on. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. We're definitely going to approach that. Hopefully, maybe in this episode, maybe the next one, we'll just have to see how time goes. But I think after that we head up north to look for a new bow. For one thing, I might get a good bow just in the attack. And number two, after we're successful with this assault, we're going to have just a ton of loot left over. So I think that's the best thing to do is wait until we've got, a settlement captured and I've got all the loot sorted out and collected because then we can take a serious trading trip up north, maybe even get some reindeer and stuff. So, to that end, too, I'm also going to build a second or maybe even a third fenced in area because I do want to get some cows and maybe some sheep too. But that's all long term stuff. Like I said, the attack on the village is coming up soon, hopefully. But before we attack that, we got to take out this ermine. So let's get it done. Oh, it has fallen unconscious. Boom. Like I said, the wildlife here is just off the charts right now. In fact, I think I will leave these traps disabled. Oh my gosh. There's 5 trunks. So I am trying to move. I'm getting just all kinds of stuff cut down. Let me zoom out a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. But show you guys. See, I'm trying to get all these little bundles of slender trunks collected and moved either into the cabin for firewood, like we'll take them in here and drop these. Not the ermine carcass, there we go. Or I've been taking them up here and turning them into wooden stakes. I got a nice big pile, 78 wooden stakes. I'll probably need more. And of course, in order to build fencing, you also have to have cordage too, but we can get to that. But you can see I'm just kind of doing some campcraft or watching my traps. I haven't been placing any nets down though, the fishing nets. I guess we should do that, huh? Yeah, let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and grab all of this, not the punt though. We'll leave that on the ground. And now if we wield our paddle, we can head right out into the water. This seems far enough. Let's see. We did have some success already at this location, so I'm confident we'll catch some stuff here if we just have a little bit of patience. Oh my God! Literally, I just came right back on shore from the nets, and there's a bird. I think that's the other tufted duck too. This is getting a little crazy here, guys. I'm never going to get away from the campsite if I'm genuinely waiting for all the meat to be finished. It's going to be like winter time before that happens, but it's okay. It's a good problem to have, having too much meat. Okay, well, not all the meat is completed yet, but I decided we can probably pop out of our cabin here for a day or two and just come down here and, like I said, explore the circle. That's going to be the most important thing. One thing you don't want to do if you're planning on attacking an enemy settlement or any settlement is to get there with a bunch of people who are on a limited time frame and then have to search. You know what I'm saying? Search around looking for the settlement that you want to attack, because you'll know when there's a presence of an enemy. Obviously a big purple circle appears, but you don't necessarily know where that tribe's at or the settlement itself. So I'm being extremely careful here. I'm just oh, there it is. I see it. I'm very methodically just moving in one step at a time so that I accidentally don't like take a bunch of steps in a row and then enter that enemy settlement, because if we were to enter this right now, it would be pretty disastrous, probably a suicide, because I don't know if 4 dogs probably wouldn't be enough, and if we couldn't escape, then that would be a real problem. But it's hard to see it. It is directly in front of me. Now the dogs are standing on it, but oh look, there's a Nerpezza to the north right there. Now that's interesting. So they're here. This is their little territory, and they have some people out in the wilderness. See the red guy up there? Yeah, let's use our new snap function. Oh, that doesn't work on the world map. Interesting. Well, it just says a human-shaped figure, but we know it's hostile for sure. I don't think we're going to tangle with them. What I will do is go ahead and add... yeah, I think it will add a marker. We'll just say enemy. Simply because it not that I need it on the world map here, because the yellow square kind of indicates it, but when we're on this map, it is actually nice because as you can see, it's hard to see these little tent cities that they've got. But if we set an X right next to it, then I'll know to basically stand only on the X, and avoid the area near it. But okay, so the first stage is complete. Now the next stage will be to head over here to the green civilization, the Remi, and hire a bunch of them with meat and stuff. Now it's also good to explore their territory so that you've got 5 to 10 different settlements opened up, and you know where they're at exactly. That way you can just hit one up, hire as many men as you can, go to the next one without having to search for it. Because keep in mind, at all times, as soon as you hire somebody, they're counting down. They're only with you for like 5 days or something like that, and then they leave. So you need to get whatever task you want to do, whether it's cutting a bunch of trees or attacking an enemy. You got to get that done. So it's good to plan it out. Now, in addition to the food we need, it would be great if it was like if we could travel right over the water, but I'm hoping that this land isn't too lake infested, too much water here. I don't know, we'll see. It's tough because exploring in the summer is a pain in the butt, I'll tell you that. Just because sometimes you get to an area with lakes and you got to go in and out of these little bitty tiny areas, and it's impossible at night when you can't actually see. Whoa, I passed up my settlement pretty bad. But anyway, I'll stop complaining about it. We've returned to the base. Like I said, I've got I did in fact increase the size of our fences here. You can see I've got just a couple little open areas on either side of the dog kennel, just for whatever. If we want to do reindeer or bulls or cows, it's all good. But I'm going to go ahead and unleash the dogs again, keep them nice and safe in the kennel. And yeah, just some more camp crafting. I think cleaning things up here. Like I say, let's check on our meat situation. I don't want to leave this here if we're going to be doing some serious like exploring and stuff. So essentially I've got 9 days left. This stuff will come along, but 9 is the longest, and I'm not doing any more hunting, obviously. In fact, we need to sleep here. The only meat we're getting is from these little bitty traps, the birds and stuff. And what I've been doing is just feeding it to the dogs. Whatever, if I happen to catch like a rabbit or an ermine or whatever, a bird here, I'll just keep the skin and feed the raw meat to the animals. Oh, whoa, this is crazy. So I've been traveling through the woods, and let me zoom in a little bit. I just been moving around, actually picking up a bunch of saplings for cordage. I've been building heck a lot of fences, but I happen to come, and of course, while I do it, I always go into the forest sneaking just to practice. I like to practice stealth as we're moving, but I actually snuck right up on this raven. I think that's what this is, big raven. I'm literally in melee, and I have my knife out, so I'm gonna hit this thing. Oh, got it. He noticed me. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't injured because I looked at it, didn't have an injury. That's just crazy. We just literally snuck up on a bird. Wow, that's pretty rare indeed. But okay, so I think it's about time to get back to the cabin and show you guys the progress I've made. The meat should almost be done. I believe it's either today or tomorrow. But like I said, let's get back to the cabin real quick. Okay, here we are at the cabin once again. Now, I do have that bird on me and a bunch of saplings, so I'm going to come over here. I'll zoom out just to kind of show you guys the progress. Now, as you can see, I did mention this earlier, I've got a couple more kennels set up for different types of animals. It's always nice being able to separate like your milking animals from your hauling animals and stuff. But I also started to build that trap fence. This is the reason I came out to the woods to pick up all these saplings right here is for cordage. I've been running out. Now, don't worry, I haven't touched any of the stuff that's in the cabin. That's specifically for drying and smoking meat. And speaking of which, you can see it's just a hodgepodge now. I've literally got big gaps in it. And I'm just getting started, trying to get a feel for how much I'm going to need. You can see I've clear cut a huge portion of the trees up here, which is good because most of them are the slender trunks, which we need to make these wooden stakes, which is exactly what you used for the fencing. You can see I've got a couple of piles of stakes right here. But anyway, yeah, and it's not perfect because I could have this lined up so every trap is in the same, vertical or horizontal, but it's okay. This is how a true rugged civilization gets started right here. But also, if we take a quick look, I've mentioned this before, but I like to have two cellars set up, and I went ahead and dug out a second one. So this one's perfectly in line with the door. So what I've done here is I've dropped all the meat in this one, and then just to the next to it is where I keep my grains and any like actual herbage that I pick up or berries or whatever. Happen to come across a bunch of nettle when I was, out cutting saplings, so I've got that in here. Again, I like to be extra organized. And to that end, I've also set up this extra shelter out just outside the cabin right here. The only thing I keep in this is our trading goods. So anything that I'm explicitly going to be trading, I'm not keeping the leather shirt. We've already got one. I made this specifically out of all those little bird pieces of bird leather, so we've got like no leather left. Well, we've got some, but it's harsh. So that's for trading. Obviously, I'm going to do all the furs and the antlers. I'm just bringing those along. Maybe I can toss those in on a trade to help out. Now, of course, the food's coming with us. I've got a ton of meat too, so you can see we got hundreds and hundreds of pieces, not quite hundreds of pounds. We probably do have close to 100 at least, but let's see here. So there is a stack. So it says the wild boar cut will be ready tomorrow. And it's been tough holding back my hunting instincts, but that's okay. We'll be able to hunt plenty as soon as we're done with this, defeating this little village here, because that's my main goal still, is to knock out this purple sphere here. Because once, I should mention too, once we defeat the village, the sphere of purple will disappear. The village will still be there. It'll be ours, basically. It'll just be empty and full of dead bodies. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, right? It's gruesome, but hey, they've encroached on our hunting ground, so we can't have that. So anyway, you can see I've been putting a lot of work into this place, and it's worth it. I'm enjoying it here. We've got the lovely lake side view. When we come down to this shelter, we can see straight down to the lake. I got to get rid of those traps now. I've caught most of the small game, and I literally haven't caught anything else in a while. The fish, I stopped putting the nets in just because I was basically just feeding them to the dogs, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to start smoking anything. Now, once we get that process up and running again, we'll definitely do a little bit more fishing. But for now, I'm just kind of, like I said, keeping things slow or not at all in terms of our meat income. And we'll be ready tomorrow. So I hope you guys are ready, because we're going to do some traveling. Okay, everybody, the meat is done. I've picked up all the furs and everything I showed you just moments ago. Now I'm picking up a bunch of meat. Okay, I want to make sure I can carry. Okay, that's about as much as she'll probably be able to carry, 227. I could pick up a few more here and there, but what I'm going to do now is grab the dogs, and I'm going to load each one of them up with 50 pounds of meat. And of course, it's going to be nice smoked meat, so it'll last, but let me get them all leashed up real quick. All right, they're all loaded up, and yes, of course, they're still starved, so it must be torture for the poor dogs to be carrying a bunch of smoked meat on their backs while they're starving. But we've got bigger fish to worry about, so let's get out of here. Time to finally leave this behind. You can see I've been extending that fence quite a bit there, but anyway, let's move. It feels good to be out here on the world map once again. So I think the first thing we're going to do is come up here and grab our knife and probably put it in order for another blacksmith item. This guy up here, in case you've missed it in the past, he has a masterwork quality, and we've already gotten a few items off him. I think our hand axe and the Scramasaki came from him for sure. So that was helpful, but it's long overdue that we finally pick up our small knife. And I just wanted this small knife basically for crafting purposes. It's good to have. No, I'm not doing any hunting right now, Mr. Fox. I will take a little drink here, and that's it. That's as low as we go on endurance. We're at negative 43. She's carrying a lot of furs for sure. All right, let's come up in here. We might have a quest or something. I don't know, but it's worth checking, of course. It's good to see you again. What can I do for you? How's it going? So they won't be. Oh, they've got a wounded adventurer here. Yep. See, so he's telling me the temperature and the weather, but at the very bottom it says, but it's more interesting that we've got one wounded adventurer here. So let's see. Where can I find him? A while ago he was inside just around the corner. Oh, so he's probably in this building right here. Well, like I said, yep, there he is. So he's laying on the ground. Ah, but perfect. Our blacksmith friend is right here too. So let's grab this. Then we'll talk to the wounded adventurer. How's that knife coming? It's all done. I bet it's done. All right, let's see. What are we offering here? I'm going to just try the reindeer antlers. A good start. He's willing to take the antlers. Tripled. Oh, I wish I had more antlers. Oops, I just exited out. Dang it. Okay, trade. Well, let me go ahead and set it up and see what he wants. All right, not too bad. I gave him the fine hair fur, the antlers, and a squirrel fur. I think that's pretty fair for a masterwork small knife. Like I said, good for crafting. Sometimes you don't need a big knife. What you need is a little one, for whittling and stuff like that. But all right, so let's go ahead and put it in order. I think it might be time to get a spear. Yeah, and I definitely want a trident for sure because we can fish with it. Plus, I think someone's mentioned in the past series before that they're really good for blocking. But anyway, yeah, I definitely want the trident. Let's go for that. Yep, it's a deal, buddy. All right, so now we will speak to the wounded adventurer who happens to be right here on the ground in front of our character. There. Okay, greet him. You're bothering us in the usual hour. What's on your mind? You seem to be badly wounded. You bet. I can't even think about walking as it hurts so much. I guess I'm stuck here for a couple of weeks. What happened? I've been traveling and stopped for a night. I made a quick shelter and slept tight. Early in the morning, as I was gathering branches for a fire, I suddenly stumbled into an angry wolf. I tried to disengage, but the wolf kept following me, and eventually we fought. I had nothing but my knife to wield as I left everything by the shelter. All right, how did the struggle end? The beast managed to hit me hard a couple of times until I landed a fierce counter-strike, which made it to retreat into the woods. My equipment was at the shelter, but afraid of the wolves still around, I didn't dare go get them and was left while still conscious. I was bleeding bad, but determined to survive, and crawled my way to this village. You saved your life, but lost all your items? Well, I think all the items I had weren't worth much. The only precious item to me left there was my hand axe. My father gave it to me. So, in fact, if you missed it, yeah, tell me where the shelter is. All right, I'll do my best. Good to see you. Okay, so I rushed through that because we've actually had this quest before, and I failed it. And I'm glad that it was presented to us once again so I can redeem myself. But if we check out... Oh, okay, interesting. So here is the area where that shelter might be. And also, if we read it, I'm sure he's going to give me like some specifics. Let's see. Northwest of here, just a couple miles, I remember building my shelter at the border location of a large heathen area right next to lichenous pine forest in the west. So we're looking for lichenous pine forest on the west and then a heathland on the right. So that'll be the key to finding it. Hopefully we find it. Now I'm feeling more confident because we did have a recently, I think it was bird thief. Yeah, I was able to locate 2 traps in this one in the woods just by like description and stuff. So that we got very lucky with. Like I said, I failed the first time though, trying to find this guy's axe and shelter. But I'm more confident this time. So looks like we are just going to put off the little assault on the purple guy. That's okay. It's no need to worry because we're definitely going to do it probably in the future episode very near. But I got to take care of this quest. And if we get out there soon enough, we might still find like the wolf tracks and stuff, which would be perfect. So that's going to be a big priority. But anyway, guys, I think that'll do it for today's episode. We're leaving off here in a good place for a brand new quest on the next one. So tune in for that. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all on the next episode.